All right. This is our final project. My name's Sebastian Main.
Alistair.
Alistair Orr.
Ethan Darling.
I'm Sean McElfresh.
And I'm Andrew Chang.
Next slide. All right. So in our final project presentation, we're going to go over three things. Our Linux installation, where we put it onto an external drive, which we chose a USB. Then we're going to go over our custom options for our Linux installation. We used KDE and LightDM. And then finally, we're going to go over the scripts we created, the icon, the cron jobs, and the create backup.
So our first step was Linux installation, which I'll get more into on the next slide. So we first started with a flash drive and we used Rufus to make it bootable and format it. And we used a distribution or we used Ubuntu as our Linux distribution. We created the bootable USB and then went into our BIOS to change the boot priority so that when we restart the computer, it will boot from the USB. And then we went through the installation instructions for Ubuntu. And after we did that, we were able to log in and run the scripts on it. So that was how we prepared our flash drive.
So next we did the customize installation of Ubuntu. And for the 2 out of the 5 customization options, I chose the desktop environment and the display manager. So on these two photos here at the top of the script or the terminals, it shows me just typing in the scripts to install the desktop environment. I used the KDE Plasma instead of like the typical genome that's used for Ubuntu. You can see that down here. And then for the display manager, I used LightDM, which is down here. And I kind of like that one a little bit better because it's a little bit faster than the typical display manager that Ubuntu gives you. So yeah.
So create and test scripts. So we did 3 test scripts. Me and Sean split this up. Yeah, next slide. So the first type script I did the icon.sh file. So what we did, like how this works, so we prompted the user with any dialog, so like the script file, and then an icon will appear on the file, and then when we create the desktop file, it will get the user's input, then copies that file over to the desktop, send an executable in which we which this sorry allows automatically makes a shortcut. It's a shortcut executable. Then yeah, next slide. For the second one I developed, we did the cron job.sh, which purpose of this one was to simplify task scheduling using cron jobs and provides an intuitive way to set up tasks through GUI. And some good features about this is like Zenny's base dialog for user input. It's easy script to run and shows the date, the current date, and the time, and the recurrence of today. And I implemented the special way of implementing today's date on the file, so it automatically updates what day it is. So, and how this works, so it'll prompt the user to select a script to run, then it'll specify the schedule. Like for example, it has like the date and the time and the recurrence, and then formats the inputs of the valid cron expression, then adds the job to the cron tab. And just overview, it just simplifies cron job setups for all users and eliminates all like manual edit cron tab files.
All right, so for the third script that we created, we had a create backup script that we created. So the first step that we had in the script was we selected a source directory or whatever file or folder we wanted to back up, and we used this through Zenity, which just popped up a GUI that allowed you to select whatever folder you wanted to back up. After that, we then selected the destination folder where we wanted to save our backup folder. We just did the same thing, just use this GUI Zenity or Zenity GUI to select it and to select the destination folder. And then after that, we used tar to create. Oh, you're gonna go back. Sorry. We then used tar to create a compressed backup of that folder, and of the source folder into the destination folder. You're good now.
All right. So a quick summary of our project is that we installed Linux onto a USB and implemented KDE and LightDM. Furthermore, we created those three scripts within the installation and tested them to make sure everything was working successfully. And then some key takeaways from this is that this provided hands-on, in-depth learning experience with Linux, especially the installation, partitioning drives, customizing it with our own implemented applications, and then obviously scripting with those three scripts we put together. This project really emphasized the importance of good collaboration within our team and effective communication and working together to get this technical project put together. And thank you very much. So now we'll show you the scripts.
All right, for the first script, we're running the icon script to create a desktop icon onto your desktop to allow for easy running of any scripts. So first, you just select whatever script you want to run, and then you can select PNG or JPEG to represent that script, and then you obviously put a name for whatever you want it to be called on your desktop. And there it is on your desktop. And then to prove that it works, you can double click it again. And if we wanted to create another icon or another script onto our desktop, you could easily use that. All right, for the next script, we're having a scheduling for our scheduling jobs. So first, you get to select the date of whenever you want the scheduled script to run. For this, we'll just do our date and then just a minute or so in advance. And then you can select AM or PM. Then you select whatever script file you want to run. And then you can determine how often you want it to repeat. And then we can wait for it to run. And then Ethan, while we're waiting, if you want to run that cron tab -L to show that it's in the table. And then at the bottom there, or 1540 or 4115 is 341. And then there it goes. When it hit 341, it ran the scheduled script. And then the last script that we have is the creating the backup of a folder. First, you can select whatever folder you want to back up. So like the desktop folder. And then you select where you want that saved. And then it'll create a backup. And if we go into it, see the actual compressed file. And then inside is everything that's a part of your original source file.
All right, that should be everything for our final project. So thank you.
Thank you.